What is going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to break down all of the action from Week 4 of the NFL. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, Nick, Week 4 is almost fully in the books. We still have Monday Night Football tonight, obviously, but taking a look at Week 4, it was a roller coaster of a week. I mean, even starting off with the Jacksonville-Cincinnati game on Thursday and all the way through the weekend, we saw some incredible football. And as we always do on these Monday shows, I want to start off with our first down, and I want to give you credit where credit is due. You had been singing from the high heavens that the New York Giants would pull off the upset against the New Orleans Saints, who are coming off of that high against the New England Patriots, going back to New Orleans for the first time since the hurricane, and the Giants come in and play spoiler. So why don't you tell us a little bit about why you predicted it and then what you saw in this game?
Yeah, so there's a few factors that went into this, but I just think when you look at both teams, everybody's discrediting the New York Giants, but when you look at their matchups, they faced some very competitive teams, and they were very close in each one of those games as well. They were bound to have a big game. They were improving game over game, and I just knew they were going to be able to put it together. Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints, they are, very versatile. I mean, they're very volatile with how they perform. Jameis Winston, he could be great one day and horrible the next, and we've seen that he's up and down, and it's a lot of pressure for him in that first real home game in New Orleans. He has to perform, and really they could not get anything going besides Alvin Kamara on the ground. It was a very poor performance, and you saw guys like Kadarius Toney, who haven't been big names, really step out, really be a big factor. Saquon Barkley finally fully ingrained into this offense. Looks like the original Saquon Barkley. He was drafted. I really like the New York Giants, and they really came through for me today. It was a close victory, but this is something that I think the Giants were fully capable of winning from the get-go, and a lot of people need to start putting respect on what Joe Judge and the New York Giants are doing.
Absolutely. I'm in 100% agreement with you. And I think that obviously the Dallas Cowboys look like the class of the NFC East right now, but the New York Giants are not far behind. And with Joe Judge at the helm, it's going to be a very close race throughout the rest of the season. I'm looking forward to those head to head matchups. But either way, the New York Giants did prevail, and you called it. But I want to kind of reverse things a little bit, because all week I had been talking about the New York Jets possibly having the upset card on the Tennessee Titans. And Nick, you can attest to this. I didn't even bet on this game because I knew it was going to be too close to call. And wouldn't you know, the New York Jets get their first victory of the season. Zach Wilson and Robert Salah both get their first victories now in their new positions with the New York Jets. And honestly, it was a very sloppy game all around, and that's kind of what I expected. No A.J. Brown, no Julio Jones. The Tennessee Titans just looked absolutely abysmal without their two playmakers. Derrick Henry, great day. He had a phenomenal day on the ground. 33 carries, 157 yards, and a touchdown. Phenomenal output. 4.8 yards average per carry is not something to make light of, but at the end of the day, they needed to be able to move the ball through the air, because the back end of this Jets defense is where they struggle. And if you're going to essentially have to work against Zach Wilson with that cannon of an arm that he has, he showed it off with Corey Davis and Keelan Cole and Jamison Crowder and all of these guys that they have at the wide receiver position. He was able to show off what he has, and Ryan Tannehill looked like he belonged back with the Miami Dolphins and Adam Gase.
Yeah, Zach Wilson had a great game, but he really wasn't the only rookie quarterback to have a great game. There was a special quarterback of ours in a very big primetime game, Brady versus Belichick. That was a massive matchup that was happening this week. Big game as to who was going to have the edge over who, Brady or Belichick. And I mean, this game absolutely delivered on all levels. Brady really had an emotional comeback, and the fans embraced him until the game started and we saw everything go the other way. Tom Brady struggled to get things going in the beginning. They missed a field goal, and then you saw Mac Jones come in, have some amazing drives, some very quick, no huddle drives that put together some nice touchdowns. Overall, the Patriots had a solid game, but it just wasn't enough as Brady was able to edge it out. Didn't have to do too much through the air. They ran the ball on the ground, but I really like what I saw on both sides, and it was a very solid game, a lot more competitive than I thought it would be.
Absolutely. Listen, the New England Patriots, they came out so well against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who just won the Super Bowl with this exact team last year. Obviously, they were a little banged up on the secondary, but nonetheless, Mac Jones, a rookie quarterback facing off against the defending Super Bowl champions, he had a stellar performance. 31 of 40, 274 yards, two touchdowns, and he had an interception, but it was tipped up in the air, and there's nothing more he could have done about that. It was absolutely the game of his life, and I think this is the page that us Patriots fans needed to be able to turn and say, we saw Brady, Mac Jones outperformed him head to head, and now we can move on with the rookie quarterback, with the new system, and we can put the Brady era behind us. It'll always have a special place in our hearts, but nonetheless, we are moving forward with Mac Jones, and this train is not going to stop. And on the other side of the ball, Tom Brady, he looked good, but the Belichick defense was just absolutely lights out. He gave them all sorts of different looks, all different fits, and Brady was having fits. I mean, it was definitely something to watch out for. Mike Evans struggled in one-on-one coverage against J.C. Jackson. Antonio Brown got open quite a bit against Jonathan Jones, and then Jalen Mills absolutely locked down Chris Godwin. So there was a lot of chess being played, and we even saw it when they were playing special teams. All the games that were being played on both sides of the football. Overall, probably the best game of football that I have seen all season long so far was between these two, and it did not disappoint. And for our fourth down game, I want to talk about one game that really shocked us a lot, and that would be the Arizona Cardinals absolutely blowing the doors off of the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are just one of those teams where listen, we had them at number one in our power rankings, and I thought they were going to really just dominate through their schedule. I thought they were going to power through and possibly have a one or two loss season. Now looking at it, they have a lot of holes that they have to fix. And the Arizona Cardinals, they didn't do it just any old way. In fact, they ran the ball down their throat. That's where we saw the Buccaneers having success last week against the Rams, and it didn't stop there. Chase Edmonds, 12 carries, 120 yards. That's 10 yards per carry. On top of that, James Conner had 18 carries for 50 yards. Kyler Murray, 6 carries for 39. They did not stop running this ball. It was absolutely incredible. The Cardinals put the pedal to the metal, and it really showed. I think the Cardinals have now become the class of the NFC West, and they are to be feared.
Yeah, this is one of those matchups where we see it every year. The Cardinals and the Rams, they're always one of the two best teams in the league, and they always have this very close game. Normally, I mean, this time the Cardinals got a significant edge over them. They exposed their weakness to a very high degree, but no matter what, this is always going to be a very competitive matchup. I don't think this means the Rams are a bad team and the Cardinals are that much superior than them. I think this is the first time they're facing each other this season. Kyler Murray has been in that system for years now, and Matthew Stafford is still working through some kinks in the offense with Sean McVay. I think that Cliff Kingsbury just got the better of Sean McVay in this one as well. It's going to be something we see again later this season. I bet we see a different result because that's just how it goes with these two head coaches, these two quarterbacks. We're going to see the Rams improve. The Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams are still two of the top teams in the league, no matter who wins or loses at the end of the day.
All right. Well, that'll be it for our four downs. Now let's head into our 2 minute drill and take a look at the rest of the games that were slated through week four. Starting off with the Carolina Panthers visiting the Dallas Cowboys. What an incredible performance by Ezekiel Elliott. Absolutely blowing the doors off of the Carolina Panthers defense and really showcasing the offense here. I thought the Cowboys looked incredible, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with all season long.
Yeah, they're a very strong team. The offense is going to get stronger once they get La'el Collins and Michael Gallup back, and I think that they have really high hopes that defense is going to continue to be a really strong point for them this season.
Cleveland and Minnesota, this turned out to be a defensive juggernaut battle. And Nick, did you expect this to happen?
No, I thought this was going to be a very high scoring output on both sides of the ball. I didn't expect the number one offense, the Minnesota Vikings, to be held to one touchdown. That was unbelievable.
The Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears didn't go the way that I thought it would. The Detroit Lions had looked so promising early on in the season and kind of just fell apart. The Chicago Bears looked really good. Justin Fields had some nice opportunities in front of him. David Montgomery going down, big injury for the Bears.
Yeah, that's a tough blow for them, but Justin Fields, he does have the wheels and he can keep them alive in the running game. I think that he is going to be a big X factor for them moving forward.
Houston Texans at Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills absolutely shut out the Texans and Davis Mills. So you Texans fans who were clamoring for us to talk about Davis Mills, here you go. He was shut out against the Bills. And as of this point, are the Bills the best team in football right now?
Yeah, you'll find out on Tuesday when we put out our power rankings, but I think that we're going to see some changes with the Buffalo Bills moving up a little bit.
The Indianapolis Colts going to the Miami Dolphins, and this was definitely an interesting game. What'd you learn here?
We learned that Carson Wentz, he might not be the best quarterback, but as long as that defense stays rock solid, this team is going to get some wins this season. And Tennessee Titans are looking porous. The Colts could be on top very soon.
Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Philadelphia Eagles, and Tyreek Hill having himself a day, 186 yards, 3 touchdowns, and they looked like the Chiefs of old finally, on the offensive side of the ball at least. On defense, they did not look like they were good at all, and they got to fix this, right, Nick?
They got to fix this. The Chiefs' defense is going to be a very weak point for them, and if they're going to get past the Buffalo Bills next week, they need a hope and a prayer.
The Washington football team visited the Atlanta Falcons, and this was definitely one for the ages. Matt Ryan kind of looked like a shell of himself. Nick, what'd you learn here?
I learned that they still have some X factors like Cordero Patterson coming up big for them, keeping them in this game. Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley not doing the job. You need to find somebody else. Cordero Patterson's turning into that guy.
We had another NFC West matchup this weekend. The Seattle Seahawks visiting the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo goes down with a calf injury, and Trey Lance now comes in. What do we expect from Trey Lance moving forward?
I think that it's going to be a slower approach in the offense. I don't think they're going to be able to do as much. They're going to slow it down. They're going to want him to run the ball a little bit more and run the ball in general. They're not going to let him throw the ball, make those mistakes. That they're going to try to take the Patriot approach and take it slow with Trey Lance.
Baltimore Ravens visited the Denver Broncos, and yet another quarterback injury. We saw Drew Lock come in for the injured Teddy Bridgewater. Bridgewater, obviously, with the concussion concerns from his previous injuries, and now taking a look at where he is right now, they're going to take it slow with him. But do you expect a lot from Drew Lock?
No, I expect bad things. I don't think that Drew Lock is grasping this offense. The chemistry is not there anymore with the guys that he formerly had chemistry with, and I just think that this offense is in for a rough go of it for the future as long as Teddy Bridgewater isn't playing for them.
The Pittsburgh Steelers visited the Green Bay Packers, but this was a one-sided affair as Big Ben Roethlisberger just looks like he's going to turn to dust any second now. It did not look good. Najee Harris carried this offense on his back, and it just was not enough against the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers had himself a day. Does Pittsburgh have any hope of making the playoffs?
No, they have no shot at all. They're going to probably be the worst team in their division behind the Cincinnati Bengals.
For our last game, we have the Chargers hosting the Las Vegas Raiders on Monday Night Football tonight. And Nick, I know we did it in our predictions, but who do you have winning tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Los Angeles Chargers. I think the secondary for the Raiders is very weak right now, and Justin Herbert's going to expose them.
Absolutely. I think Mike Williams is going to continue on his incredible pace so far. I expect a 100-yard multiple touchdown performance from Mike Williams. I think he's going to absolutely light it up. But I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of all the games that we saw in week 4, what you expect to see from the Raiders and the Chargers on Monday Night Football, and what you're most looking forward to in week 5. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.